through that, the Alliance for Climate Protection asked us if we would do a pilot project where we measured the carbon footprint of a film production. And this was in 2006. And Mary Jo Winkler was about to begin line producing Sam Mendes' film, Away We Go. And we asked Focus if they would be the pilot project and let us do this carbon calculation to take the measurement at the beginning of the production, then make adjustments, measure it again, and see what we could accomplish. And the project was so successful and everybody was so impressed that the studios we discovered had been talking amongst themselves for a couple of years, even though they're competitors and they're not supposed to be working together. They had been having conversations about sustainability and what were they going to do with the film industry in Hollywood. And they came to us and said it would make things so much easier if we could work through a third-party group and let you take the lead and we'll support you. And we were surprised but flattered and interested. And we formed the Green Production Guide .com, which is a website that includes a few different things on it. I left some cards out on the table if anybody wants to look it up. But we have a vendor guide that's international. It's kind of a crowdsourcing vendor guide. So everybody if you work in a city or a different place, you have vendors that you like, you can list them on the guide, and then the next people who come to that city already know who the successful vendors are to work with in greening your production. We have the carbon calculator that the studios really devised, and it's downloadable and probably similar to the ones that you've heard about today. But the great thing is that it's endorsed by all the studios. And we have the PGA Green Best Practices. We wrote a best practices that kind of took the best of all the best practices available, the ones that as producers we felt really ensured the success of running a green production. And then along the way, we found that as we were putting all this out there, we were, doing panels and seminars and trainings. We would find that the thing that we would hit up the most against was that, people who weren't as like-minded as us would say, well, it's expensive, it's too expensive, And we would say, but that's not true. And so we went on a mission to do a cost-benefit analysis of taking your production green, and that also is a report that you can download on greenproductionguide.com, and it really makes the case for saving money by going green. And we collected all the data and we ran the stats, and you can see it, and it's a great thing if you ever run up against that argument. It's a great thing to present and show. The other thing that we have found that is really important is that it's, while it takes a producer, right, and a director really, and sometimes the cast, to really help set the tone and set the mandate, there's a lot of work that has to happen to green a film. And the development of a category of a crew person now, which we call the eco-supervisor. Some people call them environmental stewards. We started out by calling them green PAs, but we felt like we needed to elevate their status. This person is really essential to making it all work. And recently I was doing a movie in Uganda and Johannesburg with Mira Nair. It's a Walt Disney movie, Queen of Katwe, that'll come out next year. But when I got to Uganda, I was like, I don't have anyone here. So we flew in an eco-supervisor from New York who did 2 weeks in Uganda, trained two eco-supervisors, two local Ugandan eco-supervisors. And then I brought her back when we moved to Johannesburg, and she trained eco-supervisors in Johannesburg. And so we were successfully able to calculate our entire carbon footprint on this production. We have a sustainability report that we do at the end of every movie so that we can share the results with other producers. But it really, not only did we create 4 new eco-supervisors on the continent of Africa, we were able to successfully green our film by just incorporating that crew position. And I think that, you need to set achievable goals. You can't do everything. You have to take into consideration, you know, the specificity of the place where you're shooting and what the priorities are, and then you have to work with all of the department heads to facilitate them to do what they can do within their realm.